The Yu-Gi-Oh! Core Booster Set Doom of Dimensions has already become, and I've said this before, one of the most hyped booster sets in Yu-Gi-Oh's history of 2025. And in today's video, we have a brand new archetype that has just been announced for said booster set. It is known as the Doom Z archetype. Now looking at all these cards, this is an Xyz based archetype solely revolving around multiple types of monsters. Dragons, let's see here, dragons, machines, and I believe it is both a wind and a dark attribute based attribute. So this archetype might just end up becoming probably one of the most hyped archetypes in existence. But how good is it really? Well, as the TNA World Champion Trick Williams would always say, let's talk about it. So let's kick things off. Let's kick things off with excuse me. God, I'm so fucking tired. Anyway, let us kick things off with Doom Z0 Drastia. And I believe I am saying that right. There we go. Get a full view of the card. Looking amazing. And it is an 8-star Dark Dragon with 2400 attack, 1500 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, you can target one Doom Z card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Then you can equip one equipped spell, excuse me, from your deck to it. Second effect reads, while this card is equipped with an equipped card as a quick effect, you can special summon a Wind Machine Xyz monster from your action deck with a rank equal to this card's level, which is treated as an Xyz summon. And if you do, attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. Okay, let's just be real on this. Moon Mirror Shield has now become probably the best card in the format. Just with this effect alone, literally, Moon Mirror Shield is by far the most broken card in existence because if you have a normal summonable Doom Z monster, excuse me, and you had normal summoned it and you used off its effects, you get to literally pop that monster, side draw this card out, and you automatically right off the bat can search out Moon Mirror Shield, and Moon Mirror Shield is so busted. It literally can just ensure that your monster has at least 100 or 100 more attack than your opponent's monster during the battle phase, which is mind-blowing. And it really doesn't matter what your opponent does to try and combat against Moon Mirror Shield. Even the opponent giving their monster extra attack doesn't mean jack shit. Only way to stop Moon Mirror Shield is to either pop it or pop the monster. That's pretty much it. So Moon Mirror Shield is just wild on its own, and you're also able to just automatically bring out a rank 8 and attach this card plus all all equipped cards to that Xyz monster as the material, and it counts as an Xyz summon, which even that is just wild on its own. So to be able to search out cards like Moon Mirror Shield and then just use it right off the bat, that's actually kind of solid. That's pretty fucking solid. Next up, we've got Doom Z5 Amalthe, I believe it's pronounced. I'm probably butchering the name, but there's the card. And it is a 4-star Dark Dragon with 1600 attack, 1200 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, or destroyed by a card effect, you can add one Doom Z monster from your deck to your hand except this card. Second effect reads, while this card is equipped with an equipped card as a quick effect, you can special summon a wind machine Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level, which is treated as an Xyz summon. And if you do attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. So I believe. All the Dark Dragons have the same effect, have the same second effect. Yes, they do. Okay, so the next Dark Dragon monster, I'm not gonna read off its second effect because it's the exact same. But at this point right now, it's the first effect that makes all the difference. So you're basically allowed to use this card as a Stratos. This is your Stratos for the whole deck, where you're able to automatically add a Doom Z monster from your deck to your hand. So theoretically speaking, you can search out for Drastia, use its effect, and you're able to just pop off from there, which is crazy. But you can also search out for pretty much just about like any other Doom Z card, Doom Z monster that you have at your disposal, which could be the next card that I'll talk about here in a second. It could literally be anything. It could be just about anything. But still, being able to again summon out a rank 4 Wind Machine Xyz monster is kind of solid actually. It's solid, but as far as the second effect goes, Drastia has more of an impact than the 4 stars, just because of the fact that if you do have 2 4-star monsters on board, you could just automatically go into a rank 4, which could be, you know, one of the rank 4 Xyz monsters for this archetype in general. It could be a Time Thief Redoer. It could be Tornado Dragon. You can bring out Utopia if you wanted. There are just so many different so many different rank fours that you could potentially go into, which is just crazy. So there was a note I just noticed underneath Drastia. There's a note that says this card is named after the moon Adrastia, which I believe Adrastia, which is known as Jupiter 15, is the second by distance and the smallest of the 4 inner moons of Jupiter. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Nice little history lesson right there, which is pretty cool. And then Amalthe, named after the moon, Amalthea, which is the 3rd closest orbit around Jupiter, which is pretty cool, and it's also known as Jupiter 5. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have Doomsday 7 Ilara, which is a 4-star Dark Dragon with 1400 attack, 1200 defense. And again, much like the other two, the second effect is the exact same, so I'm only going to read the first effect, to which it is also a once per turn. And it reads, if this card is normal or special summon or destroyed by a card effect, you can set one Doomsday spell or trap from your deck. Okay, let's just be real. Let's just be real. You can literally target the trap card because this archetype does have a trap. Um, and it actually has two traps. So theoretically speaking, you could target Doomsday Destruction, which I'll talk about that card in just a minute. Um, and that right there could just be a broken effect. It's kind of crazy that each of these cards is named after a specific moon in or around Jupiter, which is pretty cool. Um, I will say though, I will say with this effect you can set any like spell or trap. The only problem is that if your opponent activates a card, like say excuse me, like just as a random example, like let's say Royal Decree. Your opponent, you can't do shit under Royal Decree unless if you have some sort of like back row removal, like like Harpy's Feather Duster, MST, Dust Tornado, whatever you may have. That's like the only thing. But this card can help set up potential floodgates, which is pretty cool. So it's not bad at all. Next up we've got Power Patron Patron. Yeah, yeah. I believe that's right. Power Patron Doom Machine Doom Z. Which actually looks pretty badass. It kind of looks like something out of the Rising of the Shield Heroes. It actually kind of looks like something out of that, which is pretty funny. 1-star Wind Machine, 300 attack, 200 defense. And the second and third effects are both once per turn. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's hear. The first effect reads, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz monsters. Second effect reads, you can target one other effect monster you control, special summon from your extra deck. Excuse me, a Doom Z Xyz monster or Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction, with a rank equal to the level of that monster you control by using it as material, which is treated as an Xyz summon. And if you do equip this card you control to it. Third effect reads, if the card is destroyed, you can add one Doomsday card from your deck to your hand. So the first effect really doesn't do anything. It only just locks you into Xyz monsters, which is fine. Which is fine because your whole extra deck is nothing but Xyz monsters, so it really doesn't make much of a damn. But it's the second and third effects that make all the difference, because with the second effect, you're able to automatically Xyz summon. Sorry guys, hang on guys, I need to fix my. There we go. Sorry guys, I accidentally kicked my tripod by accident. I had to move it this way a bit. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, Anyway, so again, the first effect really doesn't mean a whole lot because your whole extra deck is nothing but exceeds monsters, so it really doesn't make much of a damn. The only thing that matters is the fact that you're able to automatically exceed summon any Doom Z exceeds monsters that you may have at your disposal, and just go and just pop off from there. And if this card were to be destroyed, you literally have yourself a Stratos for the entire deck. Which even that alone is just absolutely busted. It is just absolutely busted. Moving on, I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 more cards to talk about, you guys. So, the next one up is Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction. Which actually looks pretty badass. It kind of looks like something out of Super Mario Odyssey in a way, the video game Super Mario Odyssey, which I've heard rumors that there might be a second there might be a bit of a sequel to the Super Mario Odyssey video game. There might be a second one. Only time will tell. But this is a rank 10 Wind Machine Exceeds with 3,500 attack, 2,500 defense, and it requires 3 level 10 monsters. However, it does say once per turn you can also exceed summon this card by using a monster you control equipped with 3 or more equipped cards transfers materials to this card. And it has 3 separate effects. The first one reads, if this card is exceed summon, you can equip any number of appropriate equipped spells from your grave to it. Second effect reads, gains 3,000 attack while it has an exceeds monster as material. Third effect reads, once per turn you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon a Doom Z monster from your grave, then you can destroy 1 card on the field. This is essentially your boss monster for the whole deck. Like I'm being like dead ass. This card is your boss monster. Being able to come on, thank you. So being able to equip multiple equipped spells to this card, giving this card extra attack power, having this card gaining 3,000 attack, going up to potentially 7,000, to at least over 8,000 is mind blowing, and you also have a monster reborn for the whole deck. I have a feeling that this card can definitely enable a lot of potential FTKs, which is absolutely horrifying to see. Absolutely horrifying. Next up, we've got Doom Z and Drastrius. Did I say it right? Drastrius. Yes, I believe I said that right. There's the card. Give you a second to look at it. Obviously, you guys can pause the video and have a good look at the card. But it is a rank 8 Wind Machine Exceeds with 2,700 attack, 1,500 defense, and it requires 3 level 8 monsters. The first and third effects are both once per turn. And the first effect reads, if this card is exceeds summon, you can equip one of the face-up monsters on the field to it. Second effect reads, the first time this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not. Third effect reads, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the grave as a quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate that effect, then you can equip 1 face-up monster your opponent controls to this card. This is your second boss monster, and it acts as a Thousand Eyes Restrict. Like being able to automatically like take a monster from your opponent's board and equip it to this card as its own material is wild. This can again enable more. This can enable FTKs by summoning out Jupiter, which is just absolutely absolutely insane, absolutely insane, and it also can protect itself from being destroyed by battle or card effect, which is pretty good, pretty cool. Next up we've got Doom Z Break Diactorus. I'm probably butchering the name, but I don't think that's pronounced right. I'm not entirely sure, unfortunately. But it is a rank 4 Wind Machine Exceeds with 2400 attack, 0 defense, and requires 2 level 4 monsters, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: if this card is special summon, you can destroy one Doom Z card in your hand or face-up field. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. Second effect reads: if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect while it has a Doom Z monster or Medius the Pure as material, you can add to your hand or send to the grave an equip spell from your deck. Okay. Okay, so let's be real. Let's be real on this. This is basically your Xyz extender, if you will. So, theoretically speaking, you can theoretically speaking you can use some sort of like a rank up spell and rank it up into a Drastrius that can which can help summon out Jupiter, which is nasty. And think about this: if you were to have 3 Jupiters on board, right? Excuse me. If 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 you were to have 3 Jupiters on board, then you can literally equip every single thing to your monsters as material. As equip spells. Give all 3 copies extra 3,000 attack, and being able to just reborn monsters left and right, which that is just insane. You can use you can use the reborn effect to bring back Diactorus, and even that is just absolutely insane. Being able to pop itself or a monster in your hands, and pop another monster that your opponent could potentially have. It's basically a one for one. Yeah, literally, it's a one for one, and it just again it can enable so many different FTKs. It is just busted, absolutely busted, you guys. How many cards left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, six more cards to talk about, you guys. Only 6 left. So next up, we've got Doom Z Raider. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it is a continuous spell with both of its effects being a once per turn. The first effect reads: during your main phase, you can destroy one other Doom Z card in your hand or face-up field, then add to your hand or special summon a Doom Z monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra for the rest of the turn, except Xyz monsters. Second effect reads: if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field, destroy it. Yeah, I can honestly, I can honestly say that this card is definitely going to be a very huge pain in the ass for the opponent to contend with, because essentially it's essentially a floodgate in the form in the form of a continuous spell, which is just incredible. Being able to pop one other Doom Z card in your hand, or potentially your face of field, to add a card to your hand or to bring out a monster to your board is absolutely wild. This basically can help get you one step closer to bringing out 3 copies of Jupiter to your board, which again, as I stated, floodgates, which again, as I stated, floodgates and potential FTKs, which is just busted. And the best part is, if this card were to be destroyed, you get to pop another card on your opponent's field. So essentially, it becomes a one for two. Especially if your opponent activates a card like, let's just as a random example, like let's say MST. Let's say your opponent activates MST and pops Raider. Raider then becomes a one for two, meaning that you get value off of the second effect, being able to not only force the opponent to use up an MST, but also pop a card that your opponent may have on the board, which again hinders the one for two, which is busted. Next up, we've got Doom Z Command Doom Dirge. I believe I am saying that right. Which is an equipped spell, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, once per turn during the standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the equipped monster's controller. Second effect reads, a Doom Z monster equipped with this card or a Wind Machine Xyz monster that has it as material gains these effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and once per turn, as a quick effect, you can destroy one of the face-up card you control. Also, until the end of the turn, this card gains attack equal to its own rank/level times 100. It can attack directly, and if it battles, destroy it at the end of the damage step. Okay, so again, I wouldn't say that this is a good card, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad card either, because you're able to protect the Xyz monster from being destroyed by targeted with card effects. So if this deck goes up against a Dark Magician deck, and your opponent goes Eternal Soul, bring out Dark Magician from the graveyard, Dark Magical Circle's effect activates, target, let's say Jupiter. It doesn't matter. Doom Z Command prevents Jupiter from being targeted, because Circle targets, which is absolutely busted. And it also has the effect of the equipped spell Xyz unit, which gives your Xyz monster 100 attack for, I think Xyz unit is 200 attack for each rank that all Xyz monsters have on the field. This card would give Jupiter essentially 1,000 attack, because it's a rank 10, which is insane. Next up, we've got Doom Z Destruction, which is the card that I mentioned earlier in the video. And it is a normal trap with with both of its effects being once per turn. The first effect reads target one Doomsday monster one Doomsday Exceeds monster you control. Equip this card to it as an equipped card with this effect. Your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to the hand except by drawing them. Second effect reads, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field, equip one Doomsday monster from your deck to it. Okay, so this is basically Droll and Lockbird on steroids, because normally the moment your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, especially if it's a floodgate that you know that you're not gonna be able to contend with, you're not be able to contend against, you can go Droll and Lockbird, and your opponent, and if your opponent doesn't have a Call by the Grave or some sort of like or some sort of floodgate that stops hand traps, like say Mind Drain, if you will, then Droll and Lockbird becomes very powerful, and your opponent can't add any more cards to their hand. This card again acts as Droll and Lockbird, but the only way to add cards to the hand is simply by drawing them. So you would have to have cards like Pot of Avarice, I would say Pot of Duality, but Duality excavates and adds to your hand. So cards like Pot of Avarice, Pot of Extravagance, I believe, and Pot of Desires are some of the draw cards that you could that your opponent would have to use to combat against Doomsday Destruction's first effect. The second effect, though, reads, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field, equip one Doomsday monster from your deck to it. So again, this searches, which is really cool. Not much else to say about that. Next up, we have Theorialize Overdrive. I believe I am saying that correct. There's the card. Actually, it looks really cool. I love the artwork on this card. It looks super gorgeous. But it is a quick play spell with both of its effects being once per turn. The first effect reads, target one Medius the Pure in your grave or banishment, special summon it. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can banish the card from your grave, target a face-up monster you control, and declare a level from 1 to 10. Its level becomes the declared level until the end of the turn. Okay, so apparently Medius the Pure, I don't think is ever... Okay, so apparently Medius the Pure is a card that has never been announced, I believe. I'm gonna have to take a look. Let's see. Medius the Pure Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's see. Was that card ever released? Oh, it was released. Okay. I thought so. Okay, so Medius the Pure was released in the previous set before Alliance Insight Duelist Advance. Oh my god, I did not realize that. Oh my god. That is so funny. Okay, so apparently, yes, I did talk about Medius the Pure on the channel with Duelist Advance. So here's the card, and the effects reads as follows. So it says that on summon you can add to your hand or special summon a power Patron monster from your deck. and if this card is in your grave, you can shuffle a monster from your hand or face the field into the deck, and special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. Again, how do you bypass the how do you bypass the banish effect? You simply use the monster as Xyz material, and you would go into a rank 4 right off the bat. So this card literally acts as a different dimension reincarnation for Medius, which is absolutely busted. And potentially if you have the level 10, if you have a bunch of level 10s on board plus Medius, you can you can banish this card, target Medius, and Medius automatically becomes level 10, allowing you to go into a rank 10 Xyz monster, which is just absolutely busted, you guys. Holy shit. Next up, we've got Archmage Movement Lineage, which actually looks pretty cool. Which kind of actually looks pretty sick in my opinion. It is a normal spell with both effects being a once per turn, and you cannot special summon from the action deck the turn you activate either effect except fusions, which is kind of weird. Let's see here. The first effect reads: if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon one Archmage monster from your deck in defense with a different name from the cards you control. Second effect reads: if this card is sent to the grave to activate the effect of Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis, you can add one Archmage trap from your deck from your grave or banishment to your hand. Okay, so interestingly enough, I'm kind of surprised that this archetype can actually work. That Medius and the Archmage cards can actually work with the Doom Z archetype, considering that you can again just combo off, and your end board could be three Jupiters, which again can spark a bunch of FTKs, which is just absolutely wild. So this card essentially lets you special summon an Archmage monster from your deck, and it just acts as a combo extender, if you will, which is really cool. Now we move into the last card of the video, and it is known as Archmage Peripetia Turmoil. And it is a normal trap with both of its effects being once per turn, and it says that you cannot special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate either of this card's effect except for fusions. First effect reads: target one monster in your opponent's grave, return one Archmage monster you control to the hand or the extra deck, and if you do special summon the targeted monster to your field, but its effects are negated. Second effect reads: if this card is sent to the grave to activate the effect of Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis, try saying that 10 times fast. 5 A's, 5 words that have the letter A in it, which is funny, very funny. You can add one Archmage spell from your grave or banishment to your hand. So this acts as your monster reborn for the whole, not just for the whole Archmage archetype, but just literally for the entire deck in general, which is absolutely insane. Being able to summon out an Archmage card a monster from your opponent's grave to your side of the field to enable more enable more combo plays, to where you're able to bring out three Jupiters plus whatever monsters that you potentially want to summon, is absolutely wild. I will say that this archetype definitely has a lot of promise, and I can guarantee you that we may end up end up in a format where Doom Z is going to be the Doom of the meta. I can almost guarantee you that, because right now with nationals, that with the national qualifiers that we just had this past weekend, from what I had seen on social media, Malice has become arguably the most dangerous deck in the format, and there's quite a few cards in that archetype that definitely need to get hit, including the Link 2, including one of the Link 2s, and I think the Field Spell definitely also needs to get hit. Those if those cards were to get hit on this upcoming ban list, which I believe should happen either in about a month after nationals, or right before Worlds, which I believe should be in September, which is in a couple months. So that'll be interesting to say the very least. But only time will tell. No one knows. But again, Malice has become the deck in the format. But with Doom of Dimensions coming up, one could argue that excuse me. One could argue that Doom Z might just end up becoming the new meta. We will have to wait and see. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.